So, hello there!
Hello!
And welcome to the 7th Night of the Movies podcast, where I talk all things movies, movies, TV, and all things I want for about half an hour to an hour, once or twice a week. And today I am once again joined by Lewis.
The one and only Lewis 616.
Oh yeah. As we talk about the Mad Max films, I'm doing a kind of short quiz, which is a bit longer than last time, but still a relatively short quiz towards the end of this podcast. But before we get onto all that, I should reiterate that if you're listening to this podcast on Spotify, then you can also watch it visually on YouTube. Hello to everyone watching this on YouTube. And my YouTube channel is just called Night of the Movies. It's the same name as my podcast channel. As if you are watching this on YouTube, but you don't have time to watch it on YouTube, you can listen to this on Spotify. I know the audio on Spotify hasn't been the best recently. I'm kind of working on that a bit, but you know. All I can do is what I can do. You know.
In the words of Frank Sinatra, that's life.
Exactly. I'm doing this all on a budget, so apologies if you're listening just to the audio version of Spotify and it isn't the best. But still, nevertheless, you can find me on Spotify at the Night of the Movies Spotify channel.
Oh yeah.
And at the same time, though, likewise, if you enjoy this podcast, you can like, subscribe on YouTube, and come back for more, and leave feedback down below so I know what to work on in the near future on this channel. And also, if you do like the podcast and you're watching this on YouTube as well, please do comment down below and tell us what you want us to talk about in a near distant video on the future. Oh, I can't even speak properly. In a video on the future on this channel. And also let us know if you enjoy these types of videos, or if you don't, that's also much appreciated.
Also, please tell us if you prefer us together rather than just Spike alone. Yeah. Could we be like your personal Laurel and Hardy?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have done a podcast by myself at the moment. I did one, I think it was a couple of weeks ago now, on like the first episode of House of the Dragon, talk about some movie news as well. But yeah, tell us if you prefer both being here, or maybe whether you even prefer this just alone. I mean, I might do a podcast next week when I'm flying solo, or you might be back with me again. Honestly, it's just a look at the draw, you know, whether it's there or not.
Or if you ever want a special 10 minutes of Lewis 616 on his own talking about
Top Gear, and he just talks about everything Top Gear specials. But anyway, as already mentioned in today's podcast, we will discuss doing another movie quiz a bit later, but we're also going to be talking about the Mad Max films first.
Pretty mad.
So, before we get into Lewis's opinion on the Mad Max films, I'm going to just quickly reiterate my opinion on the first four Mad Max films, on the four Mad Max films we've had so far, because a new one is in the works. Although it's kind of not Mad Max, because from what I've heard, it's going to be based around the character Furiosa from Mad Max Fury Road, which I'm all for, by the way, because George Miller is still directing. He's coming back again to direct the fifth Mad Max film that he directed.
It should still feel like a Mad Max film.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to have Mad Max in, although I might be wrong. I just don't think it's going to have
If it does have Mad Max in, would it be Tom Hardy again, or would it be someone?
Presumably, yeah. Because he's still quite young as well, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's no older
He's still in the conversation for Bond.
He's no older than his mid-40s.
Exactly. But anyway...
He would be starting as quite old as Bond, though. But
yeah, exactly. But still, he's still in the conversation.
Bond's usually
I don't think he's going to be Bond, by the way, but that's not what we're talking about today. But yes, going back onto Mad Max, my opinion on the four Mad Max films. I love the first one so much. It's a great road rage film. It has some fantastic direction in there. And it just, I was really surprised about how much I liked that first Mad Max when I saw it for the first time. As for Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, I think that is one of the best sequels ever made. I think it's up there with Godfather Part 2, Empire Strikes Back, Two Towers, and so on and so on and so on. I think it is absolutely incredible. And the car chase at the end of the movie, it blew me away the first time I saw it. As for Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and I know I'm in the minority here, but I'm still going to say it anyway.
This is the third one?
Yeah, the third film, yeah. The third Mad Max film, I love that film so much. I adore it to pieces. I don't care what anyone says. I think it's such a great movie. It's got a compelling story in my opinion. I enjoy the fact that we get to meet new characters and we learn more about them. And again, I might be in the minority, but even like the fact that Tina Turner's in that film, I think it's a great watch. And then you get on to Mad Max Fury Road, and just the fact that George Miller, who directed the previous 3 Mad Max films, returned to Mad Max 4, aka Mad Max Fury Road, and still managed to capture the insanity and craziness of the Mad Max series, 30 years on after the predecessor, after Beyond Thunderdome. It's just quite incredible when you think about it. And like, that is one of the best action movies ever made, in my opinion. I don't think it's better than Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, but I do think for an action movie in the 2010s, since the 2000s to be honest, I just think it's so incredible what he managed to do and how he managed to just make it all coherent as well and just make it feel like it works well together. It's just, God, it's amazing. And we just literally watch Mad Max.
It's definitely one of the best. It's definitely one of the best films that I've seen and that's have come out within the last 10 years.
Well, that's the thing. We're about to go on to Lewis's opinion, so he's kind of giving his opinion away for Mad Max Fury Road. But what is your opinion on the other 3 Mad Max films? And maybe want to go into more of your opinion on the 4th Mad Max film as well. Go away.
Well, I'll start off with the first Mad Max film. I'm gonna be the first Mad Max film. I think it's a great movie, but it's weird. I've only actually recently watched the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The first one I need to watch again and then give my opinion basically. But as far as I'm aware, I think the first one's a great movie, and I think if I watched it again now, I'd have a lot more to say about it basically. But I do love the first one. I think it's a classic, and it's there with the classic movies. Put it that way. I think the 2nd is definitely one of the best sequels that I've ever watched as well. I think
it's up there with Aliens as well. So you have a sequel
yeah,
about that. I couldn't think.
I enjoyed the movie. Kept me watching it. I didn't get bored in any parts of the movie, and I just thought it was an overall great watch, and I thought it ended too quickly. Put it that way.
And here's where we're going to disagree. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. What do you think of that film?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't love Mad Max 3, but I definitely I definitely do not dislike it. I don't see it as some of the movies that we've watched in recent times at the cinema in terms of Spike loves and I genuinely hate it.
Just for you to it, those are films like The Batman, Top Gun Maverick.
That's right.
No
Time to Die.
Oh yeah, No Time to Die as well.
Okay, but I'm going to be honest, those 3 movies I don't like. I just don't. There's just something about them.
It's fair. I know people as well, other than Lewis, who don't like those movies.
Really?
Well, actually, that's a bit of a lie, but I've seen people online. I've seen people online who, said they didn't really like the Batman. They thought it was too long. Fair enough.
Oh, well, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get back to Mad Max 3.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I just didn't think it was great. I would watch it again. I'd like to watch it again. I feel like if I watched it again, I'd probably like it more.
I'm going to just quickly put in there. The thing is about Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, it is the most disliked Mad Max film, but saying that though, it's not hated. It's not It's not like people go the Mad Max films go, oh, Mad Max 1 and 2 perfection, and they go to Mad Max 3 rubbish. They're not. They do that. But at the same time, though, it is kind of considered the worst Mad Max film, and I would say it is, to be honest. That's not saying
which isn't saying much because they're all good.
It's like personally, I consider, I'm trying to think of a good example here. I consider the first Star Wars movie, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, the worst of the original trilogy, but I still think it's great. I still really, really love that film, and I kind of put Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome in the same dome there, that's what I did. But yeah, get the point. Anyway, back onto your opinion on the Mad Max films.
That's a pretty good pun there, Mr. Knight.
Mr. Knight. Night of the movies, wow. Yeah. It's been a long day.
Pretty knackered. I'll just say the 4th one with Tom Hardy. I mean, for starters, I'm a big Tom Hardy fan. Pretty mainly because I love his work in Legend as Ronnie and Reggie Craig.
Say that film is pretty bad.
No, I love that movie very much.
Talking to the mind there, like we haven't really been doing.
It's good. It's a good film. Don't listen to him.
Anyway, at the best, right. I'm going to say it's fine.
We're going off track. I didn't want to actually talk about Legend. I'm just mentioning it.
We'll do a podcast on Legend at some point because we have very different opinions on that.
Yeah.
I kind of despise it. He absolutely loves it. But anyway, back onto Fury Road. Talking about Tom Hardy.
Yes, Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
I think he's a very good actor. I thought he was a nice choice for Mad Max. I thought he wasn't as perfect as the decision to cast him as the Craze, but still good. And Yeah, I thought it was very fun. I loved how much action was in the movie. I like the music.
It's just insane.
Thought it was a good length. Wasn't too short or too long.
Yeah,
it was the
the
perfect
fourth
film.
Fury Road is just insane. We literally watched it, and I couldn't get over how insane it was. I hope that same insanity and craziness is captured in the newer Mad Max.
Somebody's mouth quite literally gets ripped off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I don't know if the statute of limitations do. Let's not give away spoilers just in case you haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road. But if you haven't, what are you doing with yourself?
Yeah,
it's so good. I mean, I think all the Mad Max films are, but I can understand the first three not being.
I haven't seen it until now. It's been out 7 years.
That's a year.
Yeah, okay, it's been out 7 years, not a lifetime. But
like, you know, the first three Mad Max films, I can understand someone not really getting along with. But if you watch Mad Max Fury Road and you don't come out of that movie literally buzzing with energy, I don't know what sort of films you like. Like, even if you didn't like Mad Max Fury Road, you've got to admit, it's such a well-made film. It's so well-crafted, and the action sequences leap between in the best way possible. So, how would you rank the Mad Max film? We just did this actually before we started the podcast today. So I'm going to go... Actually, no, I'm going to say mine first. I've already said this on the channel anyway. I said it on my video that I made of the Mad Max films. Go and check that out if you haven't already. Or if you're listening to podcasts, go and check out my YouTube channel with Mad Max video. But anyway, still, nonetheless, my rankings of the Mad Max films... At number 4, the bottom, I'd say Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Like I said, probably the worst Mad Max film, but that's still saying something. For me, number 3, it'd probably be the first Mad Max. Still a great movie. I still love that. I love all the Mad Max films, I should say. But yeah, I think when you put it alongside Mad Max 2 and Mad Max Fury Road, I do think they're better films, because at number 2 on my rankings of all 4 Mad Max films is Mad Max Fury Road. Just so amazing. It really is. And at number 1 on my rankings is Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, which I love that movie to pieces. It blew me away the first time I saw it. Now, let's go on to someone's ranking that we haven't heard on this channel. And that is Lewis's on the Mad Max films. Ha 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 ha.
Oh yes, well I'm now a fellow Mad Max fan, so I'm well entitled to give it. Okay, I'll start with the first one. Okay, I need to watch it. I do need to watch it again, but I'm pretty certain that the first one is my favourite Mad Max movie.
So you start with your favourite? You're going to go into both?
Yeah, I'm going to start with favourite.
Doing very well.
The first Mad Max, I do love the second and fourth, but I think I'm going to have to give the first one as my favourite. I like how young Mel Gibson looks in the first one as well.
Yeah. I think that was like his first big movie, you know. I mean, what did he? Lethal Weapon. He did a Lethal Weapon series after. He did Braveheart, and he also directed quite recently actually Hacksaw Ridge, which is a great movie.
What, he directed that?
Yeah, he's a director
in
as well.
2015.
Yeah.
No, I didn't realise that.
He's a great director.
It's a great movie.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah.
I like it, and I love how it's based on a true story as well. It's all true.
Andrew Garfield, great performance as well.
It's all true.
Anyway,
did he get
on? I think he did, but he didn't. I don't think he won. He got a nomination last year for a musical film he did called Tick Tick Boom, which I was a big fan of.
He deserved one for Hacksaw Ridge.
But
back on top of it, second place for me it's just first, second, and third, because there's two that I just can't say which one is better. Basically, I'm having to do a joint second of Mad Max 2 and the fourth one, which we just watched now with Tom Hardy. I love them both equally, to be honest. So they're both second, and the third one, not because I hate it, it's just third, basically.
Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah, something had to come last.
I think Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome is one of those films which has aged really well. I know people were disappointed about it when it first came out in 1985, but I feel even though it's probably the most safe, if you will, of all 4 Mad Max films, it's still got a lot of great moments in my opinion, like the fight in the Thunderdome, all the stuff with the chase at the end, and just, I think Tina Turner's great in it, and I really like that movie. But anyway, let's talk about favourite parts of the 4 films. So what's some of the scenes which stand out to you? I can talk about mine first.
Well, out of all the movies?
Yeah. What scenes stand out to you? One big scene for me, from the first Mad Max, when, okay, spoilers here for the first Mad Max.
It's talking about when his wife runs.
Yeah, you literally just read my mind. Like telepathic, we can read each other's minds. I can't tell you about how many times he comes over and he's about to say something to me, and I literally go, I knew you were going to say that! Like the amount of times...
It's happened today.
Yeah, it's happened about 5 times today. But like,
More than usual.
he literally just read my mind there. Yeah, it's literally the moment where the wife dies and Max's child dies as well. And it is so
They get run over by motorcycles.
And then he goes to get his revenge, and it's so exciting. It's a great revenge thriller, and God, I love that first film. I also love how it kind of starts that big, insane car chase, which now looks very 70s, 80s because it made it in 79.
But in a good way. I love it.
Yeah, I like that. But that's not going to be for everyone, and that's fine. We have to, understand that. That's the beauty of the subjectivity of film.
Yeah. And also, it's all real. There's no CGI.
That's one of the things I love about all 4 Mad Max films, by the way. The practicality of all 4 films. The fact that, I know in the 4th film you do have more CGI with the thunderstorm and everything like that. The sandstorm, should I say, not the thunderstorm. The sandstorm. You get all the CGI and the different colours to help create more of a scenery, which is just beautiful to watch when you get onto Mad Max Fury Road. But the thing is, though, they don't really use CGI in any of the movies, and it's really incredible. I love that about them, because nowadays, I can't tell you how many films use CGI, and it is getting a bit exhausting, to be honest. I've got to admit. Even films I love, I wasn't going to say it, but even films I love, they use CGI a bit too much. Any scenes you love from any of the 4 films? Just, yeah.
Well, I love the same scene as Spark said from the first one, and also spoiler. Also, the one when Max leaves in to die towards the end of the first one as well, when he's trapped under the car and.
Yeah, if you've seen the film, you know what we're talking about. There's one scene where someone is handcuffed to a car thing. And he just leaves him to die, and then you just see an explosion. I always think that guy might have survived though. But I don't think he did.
In terms of the second one, I love the truck chase towards the end. I think it's incredible.
It's perfect.
I love. I like when the bad guys are trying to break into the compound in the second one as well. That's really good.
I think the second one's got a lot of great moments, like when they all.
I love the guy in the Mohawk.
Yeah, when they all capture Max and then they blow up his car and they kill his dog. I know that I know I said dog lovers, but when I watched that, I literally went. I was like, wow. And like this stuff Mel Gibson goes through in these films, I'm pretty sure it's him doing all the stunts. I'm not totally sure about that in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome actually, but
unlike bloody Roger Moore in A View to a Kill.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so surprised. I mean, Roger Moore in A View to a Kill is just. I don't know what happened there. I'm a fan.
Yeah, he wasn't much older than Daniel Craig in No Time to Die. He was older.
No, but the thing is, though, like. Daniel Craig looks good. Roger Moore looked way towards play Bond, View to a Kill, and also they kind of worked. I know you don't like No Time. I know you don't like No Time to Die, but they kind of worked the fact that Bond was much older into that movie. They kind of worked that in there. But anyway, that's neither here or there. But still, nonetheless, back onto Roger Moore. Just quickly go on to that. I'm a fan of Roger Moore's Bond. But View to a Kill is rubbish. I watched that and went.
I like some of the music. I do like the.
Well, it's John Barry, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. I like John Barry's score. Who doesn't? And
He's done some cracking Bond scores.
Yeah, A View to a Kill. These are the very few good things about it.
Well, we're going to go a quick tangent about A View to a Kill.
No, forget it. No, back to Mad Max.
I just wanted to say, View to a Kill is quite a bad send off for Roger Moore's Bond. But, going back on what I was saying before about the whole stunt work, I am surprised no one died making a Mad Max film. I am genuinely shocked about that, because it's all practical stunts. None of it looks like CGI at all. I don't think any of it is CGI. And you watch it like, how is no one dying? Particularly with the last one. A car literally goes over this woman, and then she gets back up and then she shoots the cat down. I was like...
Is that real?
What? Yeah,
that car literally went over a woman.
Do you not remember that in the film?
Yeah, no, I didn't know if that was real.
I think it was. No. I literally watched that. I mean, it might have been edited in a certain sort of way, but the way it looked in the film, it made it feel real. The verisimilitude there, and if you don't know what word it is, look it up. But the verisimilitude in that scene was just so incredible, and it looked real. That's the important thing. It looked real.
That's true. In terms of Mad Max 3, I love the dome scene when they're having the fight, when you've got the chainsaw.
Oh, that's great. That's one of my favourites. With Blaster. a master blaster.
And then in terms of the fourth one, there's many scenes that I love in the fourth one. I couldn't just name
When they're
one.
all on pogo sticks.
Yeah, if I could only pick one, I'd have to say the car chase at the end in the second half of the movie. Obviously.
I love the werewolf kid as well from Mad Max 2.
Oh, I like it. I don't love him, but I do like
I
him.
like that whole idea of this kid, and
He's not been taught English.
Yeah, and he's basically just this werewolf kid, and he ends up on the big truck chase at the end. And also, I think the bad guy's great in the second Mad Max, and that is a movie you watch and
The Mohawk.
Whoa! No, there's a guy like he wears
there's another one. Oh yeah,
leather face thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, great movie.
Yeah.
Just so good, and I think there's so many other brilliant scenes. I mean, the final chase from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome with the plane that's going to lift off before, it gets the trucks, and it's great. Go and check these movies out if you haven't already. Got any more to say about them?
I think they're amazing movies, and I'd recommend them to anybody, to be honest.
Right, so there we go on our opinions, but sticking on Mad Max for just a little bit more, I'm going to tell Lewis some interesting facts about Mad Max. Are you ready for some interesting facts, Lewis?
Yes, I am.
Are you ready?
Yes!
Oh yeah! Right, so fact number 1. George Miller, who's the director on all 4 Mad Max films, worked as a doctor to help raise the budget for the first Mad Max. George Miller has since said it was very low budget and we ran out of money for editing and post-production. So I spent a year in editing the film by myself in the kitchen.
There's no way you'd think that if you actually watched
the film, it doesn't feel low budget. And actually, here's another thing about the production budget on the first Mad Max film. George Miller, like I said before, the director of the movie, paid many extras and crew members on the film by Australian beer. So not actually by money because they ran out of money, so he give them beer at the end of the day. But I said, done a great day's work, mate. Have some beer.
How come it was such low budget? Because they didn't know it was going to be a success.
Yeah, I mean, the first one really wasn't. It was a bit of a cult movie. In fact, that's why they kind of named the second one a different name. They called it The Road Warrior, to give it a different spice so people might be more interested in it. I don't think the first one was actually wildly successful. I think it was successful, but not hugely successful. And I mean, you watch it now, it's like, wow. I was just surprised by how good it is. On to facts about the other Mad Max films. Mel Gibson only has 16 lines of dialogue in Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior, which is pretty cool.
He only actually speaks 16
lines of dialogue to 16 sentences.
So he only actually says 16 sentences?
Yeah, 16 lines of dialogue.
That's crazy.
You're like, a lot of people a lot of big Tom Hardy fans, because there's a lot of, crazy Tom Hardy fans out there, were kind of critical of the fact that he didn't have many lines in Mad Max Fury Road. Guess what? Mel Gibson had less in Mad Max 2.
That's weird. It didn't feel like it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It really doesn't. When you watch the film, like, oh,
it does kind of make sense. Like the second half of the movie, he's literally sat driving the truck.
But he has so much dominance. That look on his face is just like, you don't want to mess with him. He's not the hero you want, but he's a hero you need. And that's another thing, by the way, which I love about the Mad Max films, which I almost forgot to mention, but I'm mentioning now. The fact that he's always just thrown into situations in the Mad Max sequels where he doesn't really want to help them, but he's like, I'm going to do it anyway. Because, I'm a good guy at heart. Because after the first one, after he loses everything, when you get into the sequels, it's like, oh, I understand why he's like that, but he's still a good person at heart. And I really like that about all the Mad Max sequels, should I say. That's the all 4 Mad Max films, just the Mad Max sequels. But anyway, more facts. Mel Gibson's favourite Mad Max film is Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior, saying it still holds up because it's so basic. It's about energy. It didn't spare anyone. People flying under wheels. A girl gets hit. A dog gets hit. Everybody gets hit. It was the first Mad Max, but done better. The third one didn't work at all, according to him. And I've got to say, I disagree with Gibson on that last statement. I do think the third one does work. And Mel Gibson, although great in all 4 Mad Max films, I think he's wrong about the third one. I also think he's great in the third one as well. I think he's great in Beyond Thunderdome. Anything you got to say on that fact?
Yeah,
I think the second one's the best.
I definitely agree. I definitely know what he means about the second one. Like I said, I do need to watch the first one again. Once I've watched the first one again, because I've seen all the other 3 recently, I'll then give a guaranteed opinion of whether I agree with him that the second one's the best, but I'm not sure about
Fair
that.
enough. On to the facts on Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, aka Mad Max 3. Tina Turner beat out Jane Fonda and Lindsay Wagner, I might pronounce her name, I'm going to apologise if I am, for her role in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
I'm just going to butt in there. I don't think Tina Turner is good in this movie, but that's
I
didn't like her. No.
It's all subjective. Which, with George Miller saying... Shut up. George Miller basically said that he casted her because of her positive persona, as well as her as a woman with a lot of power, charisma, and someone who could hold a place like that together or build it in the first place. And we wanted someone who was a survivor. And you know what? I thought she was great. Ignore whatever he's doing. I actually thought she was pretty good in that movie. I don't think she had an Oscar-winning performance, but, you know, that's a Mad Max film for you. I thought she was great. But anyway, George Miller, I'm on to facts about Mad Max Fury Road now. Sorry, this podcast is a bit of a mess because my head's all over the place. But still, anything got to say about the facts about Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome with Tina Turner? Anything you got to say about that? Nothing at all.
I haven't got a lot. I thought she was the right personality for it, but her acting skills weren't good enough for me. I think they could have brought in a
Jane Fonda almost played her.
What's she done?
I'm going to be honest, I don't really know Jane Fonda for much. I'm going to quickly look her up.
Jane Fonda,
yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. Yeah, Jane Fonda, yeah. Sister of Henry Fonda.
I've heard of her. Oh yeah, I like Henry Fonda. I don't know what she's done.
Grace and Frankie, Barbarella, 9 to 5. Yeah, I don't know for much, but I just know she's a really big actress. That's it. She was in Newsroom.
She must be his very little sister.
Yeah, she was in Newsroom, which was written by Aaron Sorkin, and she didn't have a huge role in that, but whenever she was on screen in that show, she was brilliant. But anyway, on to facts.
I'm sure it's not his daughter, because he was old.
Let's quickly look. I'm not
Henry Fonda was born ages ago. Oh no, she is his sister.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, she's 84. Oh.
Yeah, she's old. She doesn't look.
If that's her, it's 84. I don't know if she's had plastic surgery.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, most stars in Hollywood have.
Yeah, because they always want to look young.
Yeah. But anyway, on to facts from Mad Max Fury Road. George Miller's wife edited Mad Max Fury Road to give it more of a female perspective because Miller is a proud feminist. The director of all 4 Mad Max films is a proud feminist.
Is it a woman who directed them?
No, it's a guy, George Miller.
Alright.
Yeah.
But he's a feminist?
Yeah.
So, alright, what, for women?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You get any male ones.
I've never heard of male ones.
I don't know, you get loads.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. But yeah, he's a proud feminist, and he got his wife to edit the movie so it give more female perspective, and I do think it worked in that way.
The third one?
Yeah, no, the fourth one. Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh yeah, well...
It makes more sense now.
It works.
Yeah,
it does make sense.
Okay, Mad Max Fury Road was the second sequel to be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, pardon me, without its predecessors getting nominated for anything else. This first happened with Toy Story 3, as the first 2 Toy Story films didn't get nominated for Best Picture either. So basically what I mean there is it wasn't the first, sequel to ever get nominated for Best Picture, but none of the other Mad Max films got nominated for Best Picture. And so it's the first Mad Max film to get nominated for Best Picture. It's the first Mad Max film in the Mad Max series to get nominated for Best Picture, much like the Toy Story series and what happened with Toy Story 3. So Toy Story 3 was the first in the Toy Story series to be nominated for Best Picture, and Mad Max Fury Road was the first in the Mad Max series to be nominated for Best Picture. Hopefully you understand what I'm going about there.
Would you say that Toy Story 3 is actually a really good movie, or would you say it's a bit...
I like it quite a lot, because the thing is, when I watched it, I was like, oh, I can understand that. And, it was quite an emotional watch.
I feel like some people don't like it because they don't like the setting and they think it copied The Great Escape. And
I don't think it did. I mean, that's kind of Pixar for you in a nutshell, though. They do that quite a bit. I mean, a lot of animated classics do. Look at most Aardman films. They do that all the time. And yet, I think, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway, I think Aardman's actually better than Pixar. So, there you go there.
I don't disagree. I think it depends on what it is and what in Aardman, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's certain Pixar films which are better than certain Aardman films, but if I was to say which is the better studio, I would instantly go Aardman. I've just got to admit, and Aardman have done films like the Wallace and Gromit movies, you know, Chicken Run, Early Man, the Pirates and Adventurous Scientists, the Shaun the Sheep stuff. They've done some brilliant films, and I don't think they get enough credit. And I'm really excited to see Chicken Run 2 next year, and also
Wallace and Gromit movie.
Another Wallace and Gromit. Well, it might be a Wallace and Gromit like 45-minute film, but it's coming out in 2024.
Is it coming out in cinemas?
I don't know because it's a Netflix thing. But I do think Netflix films will start to come out in cinemas sooner rather than later, especially with Knives Out 2 coming out.
It's a shame we can no longer hear the original Wallace voice.
Yeah, but I think the guy who does it's going to be just as good. I don't think it's going to be too noticeable, to be honest. But anyway, continuing on with a couple more facts with Mad Max Fury Road. The flaming guitar scene being played throughout the film weighed 132 pounds. So that's quite heavy.
What was this that weighed?
The flaming guitar that you see being played. Yeah, but anyway, the two main stars of Mad Max Fury Road did not get along on set and had frequent arguments. Reportedly, Tom Hardy would show up to set late, and Charlize Theron, who played Furiosa, the main female role in that movie, would be quite annoyed. Charlize Theron has also come out and confirmed that this actually happened, that they didn't get along whatsoever, and she's also said that was quite unprofessional of both of them, and that if they did it now, if they did another Mad Max film, they would work best together. Because I think they actually have a bit of a better relationship now, at least they did back in 2015, but apparently they didn't get along whatsoever during the filming of Fury Road. So the main two stars of Mad Max Fury Road didn't get along whatsoever.
So that sometimes happens.
Yeah, I mean it happens with movies all the time.
Batman Forever.
And I do think some people blow it up a bit too much. This happens with movies, and you know, just gotta go on with it. So, also, by the way, one thing I've got to mention, just sticking on Mad Max for a couple more minutes. You know one thing with the Mad Max films is the fact that Wallace and Gromit took quite a bit off them, didn't they? Oh, no, not Wallace and Gromit, Aardman. With Chicken Run, sorry.
You can see why Mel Gibson was cast to play the American.
The cockerel, isn't it? The cockerel.
Yeah, the cockerel.
The flying, should I say, quote unquote, flying cockerel, because he can't actually fly, but he tells everyone that he can. But the thing is, though, just because we brought up Aardman before, I was like, oh, wait. The Mad Max films use quite a bit often, don't they? With Mad Max 2, the end of Mad Max.
The problem is, I saw Chicken Run before Mad Max.
I did as well. And the thing is, when I was watching Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior a couple of weeks ago with you,
I can't believe how many.
Isn't this Chicken Run? Didn't Chicken Run
pretty much?
And then the end of Beyond Thunderdome, the plane lifting off. It's just like the end of Chicken Run.
Word.
A great movie, by the way. Highly recommend Chicken Run. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, just wanted to point that out, the fact that, you know, Chicken Run and the first two Mad Max sequels have a lot in common. But anyway, that's where we're going to end on the Mad Max stuff for this podcast. If you did enjoy us talking about Mad Max, do go and check those movies out because they're a lot of fun. But the podcast has not ended yet. No. Don't you dare look at my screen right now. Because...
Oh, I didn't see the answers.
Right, because we're going to go and do another quiz. There's 3 rounds this time. There's the first one, which is just general movie trivia. Then we're back onto a slogan round, so guess the film from the tagline on the poster. Then there's another Steven Spielberg
You sure we've got time for those quiz? I do want to get them done, but you know, I am pretty tired, so I'd like to...
Don't worry, we'll have time. We're going to fire through them. We're going to do it. Come on. I'm going to burst of energy back up.
As long as we do actually go through them...
No, we will do. We will do, but okay. I'm going to do another Steven Spielberg round, carrying on from our last podcast. So, the first round. Going to be quick. Come on, people. Going to get some energy in there. Come on, Lewis. Come on! Right, okay. I'm a bit too energetic for this time, and I'm about 8:45.
I'm ready for bed.
Fair enough. Okay. Who directed the Mad Max films? I've said his name about 5 times.
George Miller.
Correct. I should also note this down quickly. Yes, okay. What is the name of the school in Harry Potter?
Hogwarts.
Correct.
Oh, is it just random questions?
Yeah, it's just random questions.
I thought it was literally all...
I just did that first question of Mad Max because it was following on. What DC character has been played by Linda Carter and Gal Gadot? Very famous DC character. Correct.
That was just a guess.
What is the name of the planet where the meetings of the Jedi Council take place in the Star Wars prequels? We just recently saw Andor, by the way, as well.
I do know this.
Have a guess. I can
give you the name of the planet.
Yeah, I can give you multiple choice if you want.
Can you?
Right, it's either Naboo, that's it, we're going to say A, Naboo, B, Coruscant, or C, Kashyyyk.
Coruscant.
That is correct.
I thought it was that. That did come into my head.
Who directed Pulp Fiction?
I don't know that.
Oh, you don't know it?
No.
He also directed Django, which I shouldn't have said, to be honest.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't get that one then? Quentin Tarantino.
I have heard of him from you.
What actor plays a version of himself in Zombieland?
Oh, Bill Murray.
Correct, Mondo.
Oh, that's hilarious.
What is the name of the first Jason Bourne film?
The third Jason.
The first.
First Jason Bourne. Something identified. So,
No, you're close, but I'm not going to give you that. It's just called The Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Who did the music for the Dumbo remake?
Oh, Danny Elfman.
Correct, because it was Tim
It was a
Burton.
classic Elfman and Burton combination.
Yeah, there you go. True or false? The same person directed Four Weddings and a Funeral, Love Actually, and The Boat That Rocked.
Oh, I do.
50-50. True or false? Have a guess.
The same person
Directed
true.
all three films. That is in fact true.
I thought he was actually asking me who it was.
No. Richard Curtis directed all three films.
Okay.
Which film in the Jurassic franchise is the first to include Chris Pratt?
The first Jurassic World.
Yeah, I'll give you that, yeah. Okay, which MCU film first introduced Thanos?
Infinity War?
Incorrect, it was the first Avengers.
Well,
Yeah, they
I
don't
thought it was Infinity War, that was the first I'd heard of him. Just shows you how little I know about Marvel.
Yeah, anyway, I just want to put a Marvel
Don't
question in
follow
for people who enjoy Marvel, who are watching this channel, which, good for you.
Shame that I don't.
Yeah, right in the same boat with Lewis.
Everyone's different.
Anyway, how many Ocean films have there been?
15?
Oceans?
Oh.
Oceans films, as in like, you get Oceans 11, 12...
Yeah. Has it not been in Oceans 4, 5, 6, 7?
Well, I'm not going to
Does it
say,
work
just have
like
a
that?
question. Have a guess.
I don't know. 7.
Incorrect, there's 4.
Oh.
There's Oceans 11, 12, 13 and 8.
Oh.
Okay,
What about the original with Frank Sinatra?
Oh, damn, you still didn't get it right.
Oh, I don't know.
Because there's actually been 5 then, but you still didn't get it right.
Well,
What was the last Bond movie to be scored by John Barry? Was it A, A View to a Kill?
That's
Was it B, The Living Daylights? Or was it C, GoldenEye?
I'm going to go for A View to a Kill.
It was incorrect. It was actually The Living Daylights,
Oh.
which I'm pretty sure was Timothy Dalton's first Bond movie. It's a great film.
Did he retire after that? Because he was quite old, I think, maybe, rather than John Barrow.
Yeah, I don't know if he retired, but
He
he
just-
didn't do any more Bond.
Fair enough.
I don't think he enjoyed working on that film as well. But anyway, at the end of that round, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 out of 13. Not bad.
Oh well.
Could have been worse.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter, but
Slogan round.
some tough
So
questions.
guess the film from the tagline on the poster. Okay, number 1. He was never in time for his classes. He wasn't in time for his dinner. Then one day he wasn't in his time at all.
I've heard of it.
Time's key there. And you have seen it. I think you even watched it again recently. Not without me. Not
Back to
without
the
me.
Future?
Yep.
Yes.
I think it might have given you a bit of a clue actually. This time it's war. Clue there is this time. Come on, have a guess. It's a sequel. That's what I'll give you.
I don't know.
Aliens.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do remember
Yeah.
now.
Okay, they were 7 and they fought like 700. 7's the biggest clue there.
Yeah, it's fine. I just can't think. I'm not very good at these questions, to be honest. I don't know.
You know,
Yeah, you have to give me a
the
clue.
Oh, I'm just gonna give you the answer. The Magnificent Seven.
I've never actually seen it.
No, but it was in the title.
I know.
Could have had a guess.
I thought I heard you say 7 isn't really the clue. So
Oh, I thought I was meant to say.
No, I was
Sorry if
thinking
you
the
misheard
opposite.
me as well, guys. Yeah, I meant to say 7 is the clue.
Well, I might have got it if I heard you right. But
Okay.
never mind.
Number 4. Here They Grow Again.
I'm not sure.
Gremlins 2.
Yeah, I don't like this round.
Man is the warmest place to hide.
Man,
Man. That's number 5.
I don't know it.
Well, I'm gonna give you a bit more clue on this one. It's a film with a group of men all in one big place together, and it involves snow. I can't give any more. It's a horror film. I'm literally.
Have I seen it?
Yeah, I'm saying everything but the name. Have a guess of a horror film.
I can't think of anything other than The Shining.
Okay, it's a thing.
Oh, no.
Okay, number 6 on the slogan round. You'll never go in the water again.
Jaws. One.
Correct.
The first Jaws.
Yeah, you got that one. You believe a man can fly. This is number 7.
You gave me a clue.
Comic book film. One of the first ever made, I think.
Was it an old film?
And you have seen it. I know you've definitely seen it. Yes.
Can you tell me the year?
70s. I'm not going to say the exact year because you'll get it.
The first Superman?
Correct.
Wow. I didn't think you'd put one in on it.
The mission is a man. So think about a mission that's involved in getting a man. Again, I'm telling you everything but the answer. Come on. I can give you another clue if you want.
I have another clue. I'm going to need one.
It involves...
It means nothing to me, that.
It was nominated for Oscars, war film.
Oh, Saving Private Ryan.
God, I've said everything but the answer. I'm literally spoon feeding a war film. War film. Okay.
I need it.
Same make, same model, new mission.
Same make.
Same model, new mission.
Is it a war film?
Not really. It's got war in there, but it's not a war film.
Can you give me a clue?
James Cameron. Don't we want to get it? I'm about to say another thing. There's a clue what type of movie it is in... I said new mission. You don't know. Terminator 2, T2 Judgment Day.
Yeah, I probably wasn't going to do that.
His whole life was 1,000,000 to 1 shot. Okay, so I should say that again. His whole life was 1,000,000 to 1 shot, and this is question 10 on the slogan round. Clue here: it's a sport movie. It involves someone running up steps. Again, I'm spoon feeding.
Oh, it was Eddie the Eagle. He has to
You
run
still
up.
got it right. It was Rocky with the famous running up step sequence. Okay, so after that round, you got 4. One of which I spoon fed, so it's a war film. So you still got 4 out of 10.
I'll take it.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. Right. Okay, Spielberg round. This is the last round.
Oh, thank God for that. I mean, I don't mean thank God it's the last. Thank God it's Spielberg.
Okay, number 1 on this round. True or false? Spielberg almost directed Jaws 2, but was signed on to Close Encounters of the Third Kind, so he couldn't.
I'm going to say yeah.
No, it was false. It was actually because the first Jaws was such a nightmare to make for him.
Oh.
Number 2, so I'll note that down. Number 2, what is Spielberg's favourite film that he made? Was it A, Raiders of the Lost Ark, B, Jurassic Park, or C, E.T.?
I'm not going to say E.T.
That is correct, because E.T. is said to have inspired him to become a parent.
I wanted to say Raiders because I love India, but I knew it probably wasn't that.
True or false, John Williams has composed the musical scores for all of Spielberg's films.
I'm going to go false.
That is correct. He did not compose...
I know he didn't do it for American Graffiti, I don't think.
Well, that wasn't Spielberg, but still, that's George Lucas. But, you know, he got it right anyway. He didn't direct the music for The Colour Purple, Bridge of Spies, Ready Player One, or The West Side Story.
Yeah, I think if he literally did do the music for every one of Spielberg's films, that's a bit ridiculous.
It would be kind of incredible at the same time.
Oh yeah, I know, but unlikely.
Danny Elfman might have done it for a Tim Burton film. But anyway, true or false, Spielberg
Probably
produced Back to the Future.
I swear him and Burton are like brothers. As well.
Okay, number 4 again, sorry. Spielberg produced Back to the Future, true or false?
He did direct.
No, produced.
Yeah.
Yes, that is in fact true. He also went on to produce the Back to the Future sequels as
Did
well,
alright.
which are perfectly enjoyable in my opinion. Number 5 on the Spielberg round. What Spielberg produced film is Spielberg is said to have directed huge chunks of? Is it A. Gremlins, B. The Goonies, or C. Poltergeist? So he's said to have directed huge chunks of it, but his name isn't on the directing credit at the end of the film.
Gremlins?
No, it was in fact Poltergeist.
I'm not seeing it.
Which literally has Spielberg's name all over it, except for the director's credits. Honestly, when you watch the opening credits of that movie, Spielberg's name's all over it, apart from the director's credits. And there's this whole big thing online that said apparently he directed it. But anyway, which Star Wars film did Spielberg almost direct? And there was no multiple choice for this because... think about...
I'll get Return of the Jedi.
Correct.
Well, I'm doing alright.
Yes. What is Spielberg's highest critically rated film on Rotten Tomatoes? Is it A. Schindler's List, B. E.T. or C. Jaws?
I'm going to have to go for Jaws.
That is in fact... Folks, that's wrong. It is in fact E.T., which had a 99% critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
I thought Jaws had 100.
The second highest is Schindler's List with 98%, and then it's Jaws at 97%.
Oh,
so
close.
they're all really close to each other, but unfortunately got that one
Could have
wrong.
been in it.
True or false, Christian Bale's first film was with Spielberg on Empire of the Sun. True or false, have a 50-50 guess here.
True.
That is in fact true. It was the first feature that Bale appeared in. You know, one of my favourite actors working. What was Spielberg's first film called? Have a guess. I did mention
Duel?
it. Yes, correct. Well done. Memory serves you well.
Must be my lucky round.
True or false, Spielberg was featured in one of the trailers for the B movie.
He was in one of the trailers for the B movie.
Yeah, one of the pieces of marketing for the B movie.
Oh,
True or false?
False.
No, it is in fact true. He plays himself.
Honest, I should have said true because that'd be a very random.
He plays himself giving direction to Jane Seinfeld dressed as a bee. That's not actually a joke. There's a video on YouTube doing that, and it's quite funny. I'm not going to lie because it is so bad. But anyway, after that, yes, I did have a look. Give me a sec. So
I'm bothered about what I got on the third round.
You didn't get that last one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think you got 5 out of 10. So not too bad.
I got more than that.
One second, I don't have a look. You didn't get the first one. You got what is your favourite film? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you only got 5.
Alright, it's weird that I felt like I got more than that. But,
yeah.
Oh.
I think you got more right. I know you got more right in the first round. So overall, you got 15 out of how many questions I did. So that's not too bad. You did pretty well.
I'll take that.
Considering you're quite tired as well.
I think that's like 15 out of 30, something like that.
Something like, well, I've got 10 on the Spielberg round, I've got 10 on the second, and I've got 13, so that's, through the math, 33.
Oh, I'll tell you, that's decent.
That's not too bad.
That's not bad.
It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah,
but anyway, I've just forgot what you got there. You got 15, didn't you? Yeah, you got 15, so you got 15 out of 33. Not too bad. What did you guys get? Let us know in the comment section below. Or if you're listening to the podcast, let me know in the feedback, or, drop me an email. You don't know my email, but drop it anyway.
but please remember, keep on moving.
My email actually is spikeLewis613@gmail.com, so do go and check that out if you want to send me an email.
I've still got Lewis in there.
Yeah, because we almost did the channel together, things happened that we didn't, but he's back here on the podcast, and I hope you enjoyed having me.
We did do the Ultimate Duel together for a while in college.
Yes.
So we did do it.
But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Please let me know what you think of the Mad Max films in the comment section below. Also, let me know what you think of the quiz. If you want to see more quizzes on these podcasts, more quizzes on the channel as a whole. Also, listen on Spotify. Thank you very much. Leave feedback so I know what to improve on in the near future. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you as always for watching. And if you haven't yet, please click down below and like subscribe on this podcast. And look forward to many more, both film and TV reviews and podcasts coming very, very soon on this channel, and also very, very soon on Spotify. Look forward to many more podcasts coming in the near distant future. See you guys again soon.
See you soon.
But bye for now. Bye.